Hey guys, Basement Breakdown here. You ask, we deliver. We are back with some Championship 1 picks. Alright, we got one Lumpinee, 129, and luckily this time I am joined by none other than the man himself, the gambling phenom, to give us the picks for this week. Take it away, Bruce. Let's go, and good luck.
What are you doing today? Subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be breaking down this upcoming week's Friday fights card for one to see. And without further ado, let's get into it. To start off this card, we have bout 1 MMA. This is an MMA fight between Marwan Kenante and Ali Afro. I have this capped as a mid on the risk assessment, but it could be safe. I would say mid safe, just because Marwan did lose his last fight, but Marwan's a very, very, very elite fighter. Anyways, my prediction is Marwan Kenante, the Green Goblin. Marwan's pro record is 8-2. He's constantly looking for a killer to break his opponents down. His striking is elite and very, very sharp. He has a great ability to step inside of range and lean out of the way of strikes, pouncing back in with counters. He has a good slipping game, but his last fight against Dongak, he was KO'd because he ran out of gas while setting combinations on Dongak. He underestimated Dongak's conditioning, having over 200 kickboxing fights, and he was KO'd when he realized he couldn't finish Dongak. But aside from Dongak, he's won money for us and been very, very successful, and I still believe in him as a great fighter. He trains hard to be here, and this is a quote in his own words: "If I wasn't in 1FC, I'd probably be a terrorist." Anyways, he has the speed advantage and the output advantage here. Wrestling is his weakness, but his upcoming opponent does not initiate takedowns. He counters them more so. So this should be set for a striking match between them two for the most part. But with two strikers, we can get wrestling. That happens sometimes. And Marwan can grapple and roll out if he needs to. I don't think that Ali Frogo should be able to wrestle Marwan. He has one loss outside of 1FC promotion by decision, where he was out-wrestled, but he did good in the scrambles. Let's move on to Ali. Ali's pro record is 4-0. 3 of those 4 registered fights, 4 registered pro fights are ineligible according to Topology. And the footage of the opponents that he fought show very low skill level. The skill gap between opponents that Ali and Marwan fought is huge. Ali beat 3 men by decision, 1 by KO. The man he beat by KO has less than 1 round of gas inside of him and was dominating from start to finish. But from watching his decision fights, his output isn't enough to deal with Kenante, and he does not have the wrestling tools to deal with Kenante. Yeah, I just believe Kenante is better everywhere, really. I just hope he doesn't gas himself out, but this Iranian should not be as tough as Dongak, and he should be Marwan should be able to break him down. As per usual, per most weeks, we have 2 bouts of MMA to start off the card. This fight, bout 2, will be headlined by Alistair Volders and Azadbek Erkanov, Australia versus Uzbekistan. The risk assessment for this fight that I have written down is that this is a 50-50 fight, and obviously a huge risk of that fact. I would have liked to wait for the weigh-ins to determine who's got the bigger frame, the strength factor, everything like this. These things, they make a big difference, especially in lower level MMA like 1SC MMA. But since I'm not going to wait for that, I'll give you the final predictions tomorrow. My prediction here, though, my early prediction is Alistair Volders, aka Big Al. Alistair's pro record is 4-0. Some sources say it's 4-2, but I can't see the 2 pro losses. He had a debut in his boxing career, but he lost an 8-round decision to a man called Rafe Gaylord, who is undefeated 3-0. He has 3 losses in his amateur career out of his 9 career fights in his amateur career. But one of them was a bit of an early stoppage. He was wobbled in that fight, and he was holding onto a man's leg to regain stability, but the referee called the fight. I won't call it a robbery, I'll call it an early stoppage, just because it was a bit early, but he could have been finishing that fight, and the ref probably did save him from a bit of brain damage. Anyways, he often looks for a finish, and if you don't finish him early and don't have the conditioning to go the distance, he is going to outwork you, and I don't know if this Uzbekistani opponent that he has that 3-round conditioning. The Uzbek, he's never fought a great technical opponent, that's why I say this. Volders seems to be able to be taken down, but somehow makes it back up to his feet almost every time. He has 3-round cardio, and as the fight goes on, he will keep the same pace throughout the whole fight, all 3 rounds. Volders fights through a lot of adversity in the fights that he's had, but he always seems to outcondition in many fights. He definitely has self-belief. I've watched him fight many people, and I saw his wins and losses on the regional scene. I rewatched one of the fights actually, where he fought a man on his YouTube channel from a different angle. The camera angle was different. I could hear his corner. He made many mistakes in this fight, and he was put into submission attempts while in his opponent's full guard. He didn't listen to his corner at all when they told him to pass full guard and get in the side mount or side control. When they told him to slow down the pace, he didn't listen. It's because I believe he knew that he could win by KO, so he took the risk, and he was almost submitted a couple times in that fight. And off this, I think he switched up gyms, yeah. But I really hope that if he did switch gyms, he does listen to his new coaches. Being an Aussie, he met up with Jack Jenkins and he trained with him, helping himself in the process while helping Jack with his upcoming UFC fight. I don't know which one it was at the time. He also has a purple belt in Jiu-Jitsu, so that's a little accomplishment he has. Anyways, on to Azadbek. Azadbek's pro record is 3-0. All his fights have been won by stoppage. 2 in round 1 and 1 in round 2. I've never seen this guy stank in round 3. His striking seems to become less accurate as he enters round 2, but he has an assortment of weapons that he uses decently well in round 1, like a lot of forward pressure with hooks. I'm not sure how well rushing in with those hooks is going to be against Volders, as he has pretty good defense and he can snipe and break people down over time. But anyways, all of his wins have been eventually by getting his opponent to the floor and getting the backpack on them, or back control on them. Or side control, securing against the cage, securing 1 rear naked choke and 2 ground and pound victories. His wrestling isn't elite, and he can end up on bottom position, but his escapes are pretty decent. He's pretty slippery, and his top control is pretty good too. Without having the wall to lean on, it might be a little bit difficult for him in the 1SC ring. It's going to be a new terrain. Leaning against the ropes, and leaning your opponent against the ropes can be a lot harder than having the wall to lean on. He has good kicks that land low to the legs and decent kicks up high. He has a good push kick that he can land to the face and to the body, but his opponents, despite being from the Uzbekistani region, aren't the best. And I see holes in his grappling game. He's nowhere near the elite. But if you believe in the Uzbekistani, he will probably do better early and get worse as the fight goes on. I have seen him bleed when his nose was hit. I'm only bringing this up because I've seen interviews with the Aussie. He has the mentality that anyone can bleed and anyone can be beaten. I want to see the height difference in the face-offs because this will determine how well Volders can sprawl and if he has the range to deal with the Uzbekistani in the striking. But if Volders is not the bigger man in the face-off, I probably won't bet on him. But I think Volders should be the pick here. I think as conditioning goes, he has a better array of weapons, and he has proven conditioning. He has that proven conditioning in multiple fights. He's gone the distance. He's gone 3 rounds, 5 rounds. He's had Muay Thai fights too. So yeah, he can go the distance. His gas is pretty good. This Muay Thai fight on the card in bout 3, we have Harling Ohm from Myanmar versus Haruyuki Tanitsu from Japan. For this risk assessment, I have labeled this as mid/risk only because the chance of an upset here is quite high. I still believe that Haruyuki is the better fighter. But anyways, information. Harling Ohm's record consists of 30 wins and 4 losses, 20 draws apparently. Remember this before we continue. Myanmar fighters have very lopsided records, or can have very lopsided records, due to rigging and the fact that Lethway rules are very weird. You can, if no one gets a KO in Lethway, some Lethway rule sets actually don't allow for the win. They call it a draw, no matter the damage you do. But he fought Uri Ishii on his debut, where I had Ishii to win actually, and it was pretty easy. He lost via KO in round 3 after being outworked all 3 rounds. He was head kicked in round 3, which settled the job. But Ishii was looking at him like, oh shit, my hands aren't really hurting him. I have to catch the head kick. There was no visible damage on Harling Ohm. But anyways, Harling Ohm can throw head kicks, but he doesn't throw them often. He throws predominantly with his power side, preferring one strike over multiple in combination since he's not the most clean technical striker. He throws the back leg to the body and steps in to throw the right hand to the face. He barely ever follows up with another punch unless he gets close enough to clinch and dirty box. If Haruyuki is stupid enough to engage in a striking fest in the middle with Harling Ohm, Harling Ohm knows how to open up weaponry, attacking the body, throwing double jabs to close the distance, and following up with his power side hits. But his conditioning is insane. Like most Miami fighters, like I mentioned before, his chin does not show damage when he gets hit, whereas the Japanese opponent's face will. Haruyuki, our fighter, his last 24 fights, he has won 12, lost 7, and apparently drew 5 times. I don't know if I believe this either. Japan has weird rhythm circumstances too. So his record is very lopsided and quite randomized. Is a scenario where he either won and was robbed, or he himself was saved career-wise. But I doubt that's the case because his career record is not that good. But he is the more skilled fighter in this matchup without a doubt. He can show damage easily and isn't the most durable man, which is an issue. He should be able to demonstrate skills on the Miami fighter, but if he goes down once from getting caught, it will be hell trying to gain back a win or from a knockdown on a chin like Harling Ohm's. He landed good combinations on Isaac Muhammad last fight, changing levels to attack Isaac's body, hurting him at some moments, but he was hit by precise, patient strikes from Isaac, who we had to beat Haruyuki actually in that fight as underdog. Then Isaac followed up with a head kick, which finished him. Haruyuki actually did hurt Isaac's body at a certain point in the fight, which is impressive. He does throw hands. He throws a lot of wild combinations, leaving his chin up in the air, hands down sometimes, but the Miami fighter should be much easier to avoid the strikes of, as they're more telegraphed. He targets the body a lot, similar to Harling Ohm's previous Japanese opponent, Uri Ishii, except he's not as precise as Uri. He should be able to win here if he's not stupid and doesn't get knocked down. I only see 3 ways he can lose. 3 things that can lead to his downfall. If he throws too much, he gasses out trying to hit a target that's easy to hit, but too hard to break. Like if he will hit Harling Ohm a lot. If he hits Harling Ohm too much and Harling Ohm doesn't break and he still has the rest of the fight to go on for, he's gonna wilter and get KO'd. If he eats 1 too many right hands and is too bloodied, he may get a doctor stoppage or lose a decision due to the damage and the visible wear and tear on his face, because he bleeds easier than Harling Ohm does. He was brutally KO'd after all in his last fight by a head kick. And the last way I see him losing is if he throws big combinations, leaving his chin out to be caught only once and he falls. If he falls, he will lose. I don't think he's hitting a knockdown back. He might if he's savage enough and really does chase. And he is a chaser. He is a high output opponent. Haruyuki to win is my prediction, but this does not mean that for right now I'm betting on him. If the odds aren't great on him, I'm going to take the Miami fighter to win over him. But if he's 1.4, 1.5, I'm good with those odds. If he's 1.3, it's worth the hedge on the Miami just because the Miami can land a knockdown shot, and he's so fucking tough. Only place this bet if you don't mind taking a little bit of a risk. There are better fights to watch, and well, if you like to bet your money and you like to watch fights and you don't want to waste 9 minutes of a fight, without putting some money on the line, then go ahead, put some money on Haruyuki. Anyways, starting off bout 5, we have another Muay Thai bout between Campbell versus Hamzah Rachid. My risk assessment for this one, mid/safe. My prediction, Hamzah the Reaper Rachid. Anyways, what a cold name. Anyways, Campbell. He is a professional Muay Thai fighter with a record of apparently 60 wins and 42 losses. If this is true, his record is awful. It is fucking awful. Anyways, one promotion did this Thai man no favors when they put him against 2 savages in his first 2 fights in 1FC. They put him against Elbrus Osmanov and Alessio Malatesta, who both KO'd him. Campbell had some moments against Alessio, but was nevertheless destroyed by the output of Alessio. By the way, talking about Alessio, last time we bet on Alessio versus PTT. They robbed Alessio because, that's Thai bias inside of Thailand, and everyone in Thailand loves PTT and thinks he's a lot better than he is. PTT's a fucking wank stain. He's shit. Anyways, what was I saying? Anyways, the one promotion did Campbell no favors when they put him against Elbrus and Alessio. They both KO'd him. Campbell may be tall, but his core is weak. His body strength is weak, and in a corner he gets broken easily if you put him there. He has leg kicks, good high kicks. I doubt he poses too much of a threat to the Moroccan here, but a fight is a fight, and one head kick from his long frame lands, it will end the game. So anyways, let's get on to Hamzah Rachid. Hamzah the Reaper Rachid, 26 years old, labelled as one of the greatest Muay Thai fighters in the history of Moroccan Muay Thai. What an achievement. Anyways, was captain of his international Moroccan Muay Thai team, a young champion in IFMA, which is an international fighting organization that brings together young fighters from around the world to represent their skills. When you were young, that's a great achievement and probably the best thing you can actually get as an achievement. He was the champion. He's won around the world, gaining different world titles, and should be set to win his debut here, but a lot of people know about this man, and there are a lot of eyes on him waiting for him to succeed. The rug may be pulled out from under him, and robberies happen too often in this sport. This one could possibly be a robbery. A lot of people are going to bet on Rachid. Rachid beat Capitan Petchiandi, who's a veteran legend, in a rematch after 2 losses to him, where I believe they fought multiple matches in the same day. He can catch kicks and is very good technically throwing spinning elbows, standing right at the end of his opponent's range when pressing forward. Plus, when he targets the body, I can see a KO happening in this fight. I really can see a KO happening in this fight. I think he should be able to KO Campete Wilder. He targets everywhere. Spinning elbows, body shots. This should not be a fight where Campete Wilder survives. I like the Moroccan to win here. It should not be hard at all. Hamzah Rachid, boom, that's the pick. And safe, or mid-safe. For bout 7, we have a Muay Thai bout between Petchakrit and Yordanuka. This bout is a bout between 2 Thais. For the risk assessment, I have this capped as mid/safe. I'm more on the mid side than the safe side in this scenario, just because I'll tell you in a minute. But my prediction is Petchakrit. Information. Petchakrit has a record of 44-12. Some sources say 42-11. In his fight with fellow Thai technician fighter Peta Sue, record 54-9 at the time, he was head kicked and knocked down. But the ref did not call the knockdown because the ref is a brain dead stupid cunt as well. We seem to get a lot of that recently, a lot of stupid reffing. But even though he was head kicked and being outpointed in round 1, he did not let it phase him. He slowly followed his opponent, throwing leg kicks and jabs to set up his range for the cross. And he eventually found a step-in left hook, which found a button on Petasue's chin and knocked him out. Petasue is a much sharper and faster recent opponent, and much sharper and faster striker than upcoming opponent Yordanuka, throwing combinations with speed when he finds the range, and Petchakrit knocking out Petsuea because he stayed composed and found the best angles of attack is very impressive. Petchakrit is a fighter who can lose, but in this battle his striking sharpness is better. His height and length range is also better. He will probably be able to determine the battlefield and the way the pace the fight is set. He can throw inside the pocket, or he can stay at range and outside sniping. He has great distance management and is able to see his opponent's kicks mid combination, stepping back and leaning away from his most recent opponent, escaping a counter head kick and countering with a right straight into a left body kick. He is very good at watching for the power side strikes of his opponents, which is crucial in this fight. Evading and lining up. Well, he evades those strikes and lines up the clean strikes on the counter. He beat Patak Nin, also outside of the 1FC circuit, who's an aggressive forward pressure striker by decision. But that was in different gloves, which is why it went to the distance probably. In smaller gloves, I think he actually could have KO'd Patak Nin possibly. His upcoming opponent, Yordanuka, holds a record of 65 wins and 21 losses. He is 26 years old, turning 27 soon. He is known for his KO power and walking into his opponent's range, trying to stalk them down, but I don't think he would try to stalk Petchakrit, as Petchakrit is sharp and dangerous, and, Yordanuka can be KO'd. Yordanuka beat a man, this is why I'm scared a little bit, Yordanuka beat a man named Wang Chai, who once beat Petchakrit outside of 1FC. Regardless of this, I don't see this fight triangle being fight triangle working here. This this Muay Thai map doesn't seem to work here. I don't think it will. What was I saying? I don't see him being the better striker out of the two. He just has power and some conditioning. He was broken down in round 1 against Kalkalai, who's a veteran. Not the greatest fighter technically, but he has the power and strength to push forward in a battle where both men are bulls, and he step into the pocket and swing. Yordanuka doesn't have technical. Yordanuka does not have the technical ability to win a points war here. I wouldn't think so. To win, he needs a knockout or a knockdown, and if he does get a knockdown, then he needs to survive to the distance. And personally, I think he will get snapped and fall himself. I think he will fall if that does happen. He can land a KO strike though, and this is a fight. All it takes is one strike, but regardless of that, Yordanuka is the less skilled fighter, relying on power over technique. And I really do believe that Yordanuka is not better than Pechakrit. I think Pechakrit is the much better technical fighter and should be able to, just beat him all round. But anyways, bout 10, we got a Muay Thai bout between Khasan Salomov and Lam Singh. And risk assessment, safe. Prediction, Khasan the Wolf Salomov. Info and pros and cons. Khasan Salomov, undefeated, 13 wins, 0 losses. He has one draw on his record, where this is outside of the 1SC promotion. You don't get draws in 1SC, where he was disqualified after head kicking a downed opponent and lost originally, but they changed it and made it a no contest to save his career record, so he doesn't have that one loss. He has every move you can think of. He has fast footwork, he has dangerous speed, great technical ability, great dodging, great conditioning, great cardio, and serious aggression. Some of his weapons that I can name: axe kick, step-in hooks, exit kicks. This guy is elite. Yeah, if this man does not get disqualified in this fight, he will win. No more information needed. Just fucking bet on him. 1.73 odds. That is gold. Literally gold. I don't know why he's 1.73. It's stupid. It is stupid, and it's money. His opponent, Thai opponent, Lam Singh, record 70 and 17. 70 wins, 17 losses. Lost to Deng Korean Cry last fight, where we took Denk as an underdog at 2.5 times. Deng Korean Cry looked amazing and had new techniques he used against Lam Singh, which led to him winning the decision. Khasan is a monster compared to Lam Singh, and there's nothing Lam Singh has in his arsenal to deal with Khasan. He will lose. Enjoy the money. I already got a couple hundred on Khasan to win here. Yeah, it's just how it is. Khasan should beat the shit out of Lam Singh in every area. I don't know what Lam Singh can do to win. Truthfully, I really don't. Bout 4, we have a Muay Thai bout between Yusuf Hamati versus Kanan Bayramov. My assessment for this is that this fight is a risk. My prediction is Kanan Bayramov. Anyways, onto the information. Yusuf, the opponent, is a professional Iranian Muay Thai fighter who fights predominantly in boxing and kickboxing gloves. He was killed by a fighter from Cambodia in round 1 by an elbow splitting his face when he was in the middle of his combination, which is, losing to a guy from Cambodia is not too good of a look. His boxing skills aren't the best. He likes the dirty boxing. He likes the elbow inside the clinch, but he has paid the price for such a fighting style before. Like I said, he got elbowed in the face and rocked. He prefers to be on the outside of his opponents. He fought and won against a Thai opponent a couple of days ago, apparently, by decision, October the 11th, 2025. And he will be fighting on the 17th again, so 6 days after. He has never beaten a top-tier opponent or a 1FC level opponent. His record outside of 1FC is at least 37 wins, 3 losses by far from our calculations. As of what I can find, he probably has more wins and maybe more losses, but probably more wins. He lost by KO to an opponent with 110 wins, 34 losses. The Laos fighter wasn't the most skilled or dangerous fighter. That's the guy that landed the elbow on him. Yusuf tries to circle on the outside of his opponent, throwing hooks with his lead left hand to set up the right. He defends well, and after defending a return attack, he clinches and buys time for his point game to work. So he likes to attack you, clinch you so he doesn't get hurt, wait out time. He's got the points on his side, stay there. Yeah, he's a bitch. This is another example of a fighter who you cannot trust. You can't trust him just because they have only a few losses and many wins. He has never fought a fight with an opponent where he hasn't thought he could win. I feel like he selectively chooses opponents from the regional scene. He is a former Lumpinee champion, but that can be achieved by a magnitude of fighters. It is an achievement, though. I don't discredit him, but I wonder about the competition, because if he was a champion, then why is there no footage of fighters that he's fought? Lumpinee only fight footage. They only download fight footage of and keep fight footage of high level fighters and well known fighters. So if he's not fought anyone well known, and you can't find footage on him, that's the reason why he hasn't fought the best comp. That's the only thing that I can guess. Kanan, his opponent, the guy that we're betting on, changed gym and fights out a Team Medisatut, which is a gym who we all know that I love, and the fighters that come out of this gym, they're savages. This gym has so many savages training there and helping other fighters refine their skill. And it's home to many upcoming champions and contenders, upcoming future champions. There's a lot of savages there. Kanan, I cannot trust because he was KO'd in round 1 in 20 seconds. But it was to an Argentinian fighter who racked up a record of 24 wins and 2 losses on the regional scene. Then went to 27-4 when he joined 1FC. So he has a good record, that opponent that beat him. Keenan is 22 years old, not the greatest fighter, but he swapped the Team Medisatut to become a better fighter and to sharpen his skills. I will need to see a lot of improvements from him in this fight if I want to bet on him in the future as well, and if he's to win here. But from what I watched from him on the regional scene, he fought low-level competition too. He has decent combinations, but he can be caught while throwing. His upcoming opponent is not known for his KO power, nor is he really known for being that good. But he has Kanan has an assortment of kicks. He throws very out of range flying knees that close the distance, following up with his right hand. But all these moves that he uses to close the distance, they leave him open to getting hit. They leave him open to getting dropped. He once won via his opponent tearing their own ankle, which, yeah. So, regardless of his 5-1 record, yeah, I guess, I'm not sure if you can call it 5-1, maybe 4-1, but he was winning. He was on his way to winning that fight. The clinch work of the Iranian opponent should be negated here, but his skill level is not much higher than the Iranians, so even at all, if that be the case. His record is 5-1, and his upcoming opponent seems like a good match for him. I think that if you don't want to bet on him here, betting on a fight to go the distance is a good, viable bet. And yeah, that's that for this fight. Bout 6, we have another Muay Thai bout. Same with the rest of the fights on the card, by the way. They're all Muay Thai from now on, no kickboxing today. We have Fergus Smith versus Zaran Al-Wasabi. My risk assessment for this, I have none. My prediction for this, I have no prediction. I would like to wait for the weigh-ins because I'm a betting degenerate, and betting degenerates like me, well, yeah, we like to bet even though we have no research. Anyways, I do apologize for having no research for this fight, by the way. I could not find any on Zaran. I have found footage on Fergus Smith, and I'm going to give you the information on what I found from both of them now. Fergus Smith is a young, upcoming prospect from the UK with a record of 3-0. I've watched his fight footage, and I've seen his fight footage at a promotion named Hitman Fight League, and I've seen his road to one battle against Lewis Fairhurst, where he won all 3 rounds, but people say he lost. Those people who say he lost are brainless, dumb dickheads, and they shouldn't be watching the sport of Muay Thai. If you think that Fergus Smith lost against Lewis Fairhurst, you're an idiot. But anyways, the reason why people think he lost is because the referee in the first round called a slip a knockdown. So the people who think that Fergus lost are actually giving him the benefit of doubt that was a knockdown. It was not a knockdown. And if you think it was a knockdown, you're blind. You are blind, and you need to get your eyes checked. You're a fucking idiot otherwise. Anyways, thankfully at the end of that fight, the fight favoured Fergus, as it should have. They discredited the knockdown, I believe. Fergus's output isn't the highest, and in clinch his back can be taken and kneed, but he doesn't give up. He walks forward trying to win. He is a young prospect and will experience loss in his career in the future, without a doubt. And it may come with his debut in 1FC, but I don't know. Anyways, his upcoming opponent, Zaran Al-Wasabi, is a fighter from Yemen with a 30-3 record and competed in Lumpinee. I have no footage to describe his ability, but from what I know of him, he's an explosive fighter who's known for his fearless aggression and throwing every move imaginable at his opponents. This is a description of him, not actually footage that I've seen. I will myself be playing a bet here for the fun of it. Every week there's always someone that you can't find fight footage on as Thailand isn't, like I said earlier, Thailand is not the best at documenting footage of their fighters in the regional scene unless the fighter has a big name. And this fighter does not have a big name and probably did not fight fighters with big names. But without footage, I can't provide the subscribers' prediction here. I apologize. I would like to give you guys a prediction for every fight, but not every fight can be predicted. There is no footage. That's just how it is. I'm sorry, but I don't want to lose you guys money. Bout A, Muay Thai. Samanchai versus Tamlan Thai. Risk assessment, this is between two Thais, by the way. And for this risk assessment, I had it as mid/safe. Now I'm turning it to mid. Because I'll get to why in a minute. This fight has a chance of being a big upset. My prediction is Samanchai. Samanchai is a professional Muay Thai fighter with a pro record of 62 wins and 20 losses on his record. He is 26 years old and is a great technical fighter. He beat a technician in Brazil, Ekman Nok, who's fighting next on the card. Where he was without the underdog and he pulled through for an upset. Opening the fight with a head kick that Brazil barely defended against, ducking underneath Brazil's return head kick, then throwing hooks up high after using the momentum from his leg when going back up. He just sprung back up and threw 2 shots after he ducked an insane head kick. He outmaneuvered the Thai prospect and he outstruck him everywhere, throwing spinning attacks, closing the gap, targeting the body with knees and boxing combinations. Also, he chopped up high with kicks to the heads, and when he threw them, he threw them with random timing. As to not let Brazil get a pace on him. He did start to wilter into round 3 after dominantly taking round 1 and 2 from Brazil, but while wiltering, he managed to target the body again in round 3, dropping Brazil, and that was so impressive. But it was a bit of a controversial knockdown, because it wasn't the cleanest knockdown, but Brazil did fall. His head kicks do land and are very destructive, as showcased when he KO'd Arsun Noi, his last opponent, in round 2 for his second bout in 1FC. Tamlan Thai his opponent has a record of approximately 36 wins, 14 losses, just above a 2-to-1 ratio. The wins and losses numbers may have gone up. This is the minimum wins and losses I have found on his record from his most recent fight when it was labeled. Tamlan Thai is a 25-year-old upcoming fighter from PK Senchai Gym. His conditioning is good, very good, and his hands are kept up high in traditional Muay Thai stance. He can fight 5-round fights and 3-round fights. His output is not a match with Samanchai, I don't believe, and his technical ability varies and fights on different days, from being slow-paced and too selective, like in his 5-round fights, or following his opponents inside the pocket and throwing 3 or 4 punch combinations like his 3-round fights. The last fight I saw of him, he was down 2 rounds on the scorecard and got a knockout late after finding his left hand in the round 4. In the 4th round. Apart from his knockdown power and his left hook, I don't see anything that will lead him to a victory against Samanchai apart from that power. Literally, if he gets the left hook, that's the only thing I think that he can win with, a knockdown. If Samanchai falls, he may lose, but if he may lose if he can't find a knockdown back. But Samanchai is relentless and will not stop hunting for a return knockdown if he does get dropped. But that's the issue. If he does get dropped, then he has a very high chance of losing the fight, because the conditioning of the PK Senchai Muay Thai fighter is extremely tough for a Thai. So I've got Samanchai, but Tamlan Thai could win here just because of the conditioning if he gets one knockdown. So it is a risk.